So first of all, I want to thanks Dr. Nutan. I thank you for being such an amazing teacher and for all your great lessons. I feel so fortunate to have been placed in your class. You have amazed and inspired me daily with your knowledge. And for that, I'm thankful because you are truly a wonderful teacher. As a teacher, you give me the tools I need to face my future. I would like to thank Dipti ma'am also. Thank you so much for your practical classes. I love your meditation classes. Thanks for your teaching. So now, complications of pregnancy are health problems that occur during pregnancy. They can involve the mother's health, the baby's health, or both. So you can see in the picture, there are different types of complications: hypertension, gestational diabetes, infections, preeclampsia, preterm labor, miscarriage, stillbirth, and many other complications. So we'll see first some main complications only. Miscarriage or abortion. Miscarriage or spontaneous abortion is an event that results in the loss of a fetus before 20 weeks of pregnancy. It typically happens during the first trimester or first 3 months of the pregnancy. So there are different types. Complete miscarriage, all pregnancy tissue have been expelled from your body. Second is incomplete miscarriage. You have passed some tissue or placental material, but some remains in your body. The third one is missed miscarriage. The embryo dies without your knowledge and you do not deliver it. Threatened miscarriage, bleeding and cramps point to a possible upcoming miscarriage. Septic miscarriage, an infection has occurred within your uterus. Inevitable miscarriage, the presence of bleeding, cramping, and cervical dilatation indicates that a miscarriage is inevitable. So here is a picture of this miscarriage, threatened, inevitable, and incomplete. You can see. I'll go a little faster because of time is the limit. So then ectopic pregnancy, from fertilization to delivery, pregnancy requires a number of steps in a woman's body. One of these steps is when a fertilized egg travels to the uterus to attach itself. In the case of an ectopic pregnancy, the fertilized egg does not attach to the uterus. Instead, it may attach to the fallopian tube, abdominal cavity, or cervix. Gestational diabetes. Gestational diabetes is a form of diabetes that is diagnosed during pregnancy. It means that you are also at a higher risk for diabetes after pregnancy. Like type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes is caused by insulin resistance, which your body does not respond correctly to the hormone insulin. Gestational diabetes typically develop between the 24th and 28th week of pregnancy. Symptoms are fatigue, blurred vision, excessive thirst, or need to urinate. So how you treated this? Changes in diet and close monitoring of blood sugar levels. Oral medication to lower glucose levels may also be. Women with gestational diabetes should pay special attention to their carbohydrate, protein, and fat intake. Placental abruption. Placental abruption occurs when the placenta completely or partially separates from the uterus before a baby is born. This separation means a fetus cannot receive proper nutrients and oxygen. A placental abrasion happens most commonly in the third trimester of the pregnancy. Common symptoms include vaginal bleeding, contraction, and abdominal pain. Placenta previa. Placenta previa is a rare pregnancy complication that occurs if the placenta attached to the bottom part of a woman's uterine wall, partially or completely covering the cervix. When it occurs, it usually happens during the second or third trimester. Placenta previa becomes a more serious condition in the second or third trimester. It can result in heavy vaginal bleeding. If left untreated, placenta previa can lead to bleeding heavily enough to cause maternal shock or even death. Luckily, most cases of the condition are recognized early on and treated appropriately. So you can see the picture, normal placenta, and then other types of low implantation, partial, total placenta previa. Next is venous thrombosis. So venous thrombosis is a blood clot that normally develops in a vein in a leg. Women are susceptible to close throughout pregnancy and delivery, and particularly afterward postpartum. The body increase the blood's clotting ability during childbirth, and sometimes the enlarged uterus makes it difficult for blood in the lower body to return to the heart. Clots near the surface are more common. Deep vein thrombosis is much more dangerous and far less common. Edema, swelling during pregnancy is quite common. You may notice swelling in your legs and feet, especially in the last trimester of your pregnancy. It commonly occurs especially in the last few months of pregnancy due to the water retention in your body, which happens because of an increase in overall blood volume in the body. Stillbirth. Stillbirth, when a baby shows no sign of life, is an extremely sad and distressing time for parents and family as they deal with the shock, grief, and pain of losing a baby. A stillbirth is the birth of a baby who has died any time from 20 weeks into the pregnancy through to the due date of birth. The baby may have died during the pregnancy or less commonly during the birth. Other complications during labor: slow dilatation of cervix, retained placenta, cord prolapse, intrapartum hemorrhage, rupture of membrane, sepsis, embolism, and malpresentation. Postpartum complications means complications which occurs after delivery. Postpartum infections including uterine, bladder, or kidney infections. Excessive bleeding after delivery, pain in the perineal area between the vagina and the rectum, vaginal discharge, breast problems such as swollen breast and stretch marks, even depression. So how to prevent complications? So not all complications are preventable, first of all. So but you can try the following steps may help promote a healthy pregnancy and prevent you from having a high risk of pregnancy. So like as Nutan Ma'am says, smoothies may prevent pregnancy complications during pregnancy in first trimester, may help prevent some health issue in babies and mother. Pomegranate juice may prevent pregnancy complications. Antioxidants compounds such as those found in pomegranate juice protect against free radicals. You take prenatal vitamins daily. Sleep. Your sleep should be regular. Do your health checkups. Then take. Main thing is your diet. So carbohydrates, fats, protein, iron, calcium, vitamins. Everything should be proper. And what type of food you should avoid, like hot and spicy food, coffee, alcohol, canned food, then smoking, excess salt or any preservative food. You should do walking every day, then listening some relaxing music, and do yoga, sukshma vyayam, meditation, pranayam. So now next is yoga. So here our role starts as a yoga teacher. So I will tell something more here, like how yoga helps in before complications. So a fit woman can bear the strain of labor and delivery as the recovery period much better than a woman who is not fit. In yoga, health and fitness will involve both mental and physical well-being. It has been medically vouched that a woman whose heart, lungs, and muscles are in a good condition, who knows correct breathing techniques and is relaxed, has a much easier and safer delivery and a much faster recovery. So there are certain specific areas and groups of muscles which need to be conditioned. A phenomenal amount of changes takes place as the uterus expands to about 20 times its usual size. So the intestines are displaced upwards and backwards. So while the diaphragm presses upwards, forcing the ribs to expand and make a room for baby. So the activity of the heart is accelerated as it pumps more blood, 30 to 40% increase per minute. In addition, tremendous hormonal changes take place as well. So this means the physical and emotional change take place. in pregnant lady. So yoga will help the pregnant woman to cope and get better hold on herself during all these changes. Um, Yoga eliminates most pregnancy associated problems by improving blood circulation, toning the muscles, and enabling the pelvic, spinal, and abdominal to support the added weight of the uterus. Even the commonest of problem like backache and edema can be relieved through proper exercise and good postural habits. Yoga will also help the postpartum recovery. Yoga is necessity, but common sense has to be used, and nothing should be done to the point of exertion and without consulting a doctor. Regular practice of the pelvic exercise helps you to develop ease in position such as squatting and kneeling, which are natural during labor and birth, and which allow gravity to assist your baby's passage through the birth canal. So while you are doing yoga in pregnancy, your body automatically absorbs this knowledge, so that without needing to think about it all the time, you will move freely and spontaneously in labor. So informing your body in this way through practical experience is more powerful than any ideas you can remember mentally. So you will be gradually re-educating your body to be instinctive and to naturally use positions such as malasana, squatting. Like squatting is kind of malasana. So this is one example. There are many asanas. So which bring your body into harmony with gravity. So now the process of birth are involuntary. So they happen without your conscious control. Contraction of the uterus, which occur in labor, are stimulated by the release of a hormone called oxytocin by your brain. So as the contraction strengthen, your body adapts physiologically to the increase in intensity. And during pregnancy, endorphin secretion increase in preparation for the birth. This is enhanced by your yoga and breathing practice, which stimulates the release of endorphins. So thus preparing your body's physiological responses to pain in labor. When you practice the yoga position, you learn to breathe and release the sensation of stiffness as your muscle lengthen and stretch. So yoga breathing techniques, particularly during labor, provide relief. So you must have seen a person who is very excited, breathing fast, and one who is concentrating, breathing slowly. So this fact can be utilized during childbirth. So also some of the pain in labor may be associated with stiffness caused by tight muscles in the pelvic area. So walking through and releasing some of this tension during pregnancy may also help to reduce the pain you will experience during labor and birth. So yoga is a wonderful preparation for this. It teaches you to make space between your thoughts, to focus on what you are feeling in your body. And this is precisely the same kind of surrender and letting go which you need to do in labor. So now the last slide. I just love this picture, so that's why I have taken. So this wooden carving of the goddess Kali comes from a prayer card in the temple in India. She tells us that the birth-giving regenerative power of woman is sacred. Her body symbolizes the feminine source of all life and renewal. She is a symbol of the active, autonomous birth giver, standing in the squatting position to give birth in full possession of her own strength and power. So now the last, so this is Sonal Shah. Thank you friends for listening me. And the last thanks again for Nutan ma'am. This average teacher preaches, good teacher teaches, best teacher reaches. So Nutan ma'am, you already reach into the mind and heart by simplifying science of creation and cultivation of life with your unique way of teaching. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sonal, for your kind words. And last picture really captured everybody's mind, which was truly the strength of women, which is we all should know. We usually avoid such a kind of pictures or in general, But now after learning this science, we don't feel that awkwardness by presenting it. Even in front of masses, we can proudly present such a